Hey y'all, I'm Angela and today is day 15 of Camp NaNoWriMo. Also, I apologize for the weird siren in the background if you can hear it. If I could make it stop, I would. It's like 8 in the morning and I abandoned my schedule this morning, which was a mistake. So this morning I woke up at a reasonable time and sat on the internet for like 45 minutes. Which would be fine, except that's like peak writing time, and I certainly didn't get a workout in, and also then I was on the internet, so then I was like hyped and distracted. But I'm writing now. Basically, I'm shifting into drafting. I'm having a hard time accepting the shift, if that makes sense. Because basically, when I'm outlining, I feel really smart and I feel really good at what I'm doing because I'm like figuring out problems and I'm like, oh, look at this. Now I'm writing scenes and I'm like, these are not good scenes. I don't know how to start a scene right now that's not 4 paragraphs of exposition beforehand. I get that it's a rough draft, like, it doesn't have to be good. But it's just a little rough on the whole morale front. I want to go back to outlining, but I think I should not. At the very least, today will be a reminder of the importance of structure. How am I supposed to work in these conditions? Like, what gives, Missy? I need my hand. So I just made word count for the day and also my 2-hour minimum. Definitely still experimenting with schedule and sort of being productive. Yesterday I really let things drag out, including like the vlog and then also just other things in my life. Basically, I've been sort of in this mindset that I should like just get up in the morning and work from like 8 until 5. But while that's good in theory, I'm finding I'm having a really hard time motivating myself in a meaningful way. So I think that I'm gonna sort of revisit that and start thinking about what do I want to get out of each day. The writing part of that, I think, comes down to me being more deliberate about what I'm doing here and not like dragging things out when I'm realistically not going to write anymore. Overall, I think the scene went pretty well. Things are moving faster, which is nice. I sort of always struggle when I'm doing a first draft with the feeling that nothing is happening and everything is very slow and very boring. And I've talked about that before and like my difficulty sort of gauging pacing, especially in a first draft. I will say that today felt better and outlining things first has been helpful for sure. Basically what I'm doing today is just like writing my big middle for 2 of my characters. Because while technically the emotional stuff is going to happen at a different time for Anais, the like physical stuff is happening for both Ledger and Anais in the same scene. So yeah, I'm building up to that and that is really fun. And eventually someday I'll go write Poor Corin. Basically what I've done at this point, sort of unintentionally, is I've written most of the Ledger scenes for the first half of the book. And basically nothing else. And I'm still sort of wrestling with the feeling that not enough is happening or like there's not enough book. But like, I'm pretty sure the worst thing I could be doing right now is trying to make things longer for the sake of making things longer. If this draft ends up being underwritten and I have to go back in and strengthen some subplots and stuff, great. I think I'm deciding like in this moment that I'm not gonna edit yesterday's video today, if that makes sense, and I'm just gonna put both of them up as a vlog. What it comes down to is that I've really been struggling with story stuff, which I will talk about a little bit more in depth when I do the wrap up in a bit. But also I've just really been struggling with like focus and various things, which I mean I think has a lot to do with quarantine. There's not like a lot going on anywhere except for in my head, I guess. I was like, I'm just gonna call it and I'm gonna stop writing. I'm gonna walk away from all these screens and do one of the other many things I need to do. So that seemed like a good choice, and I entered my word count into the tracker for today, and I was feeling good. And then the little tracker told me that to be like on track or whatever, I just need 242 more words. And I was gonna walk away. Yeah, now I don't know. So I guess I'll see. You'll find out immediately, because that's how videos work. So I didn't actually write anymore. I did attempt to for a bit, but that again turned into YouTube. Again, there are ways that I can combat that, but really what's happening is just that like my attention is fragmented in a bunch of different places. Like there are times to push yourself when you're not feeling into a thing, and I don't think that this was one of them. Like I don't think that those would have been a meaningful 250 words. Basically the conclusion I was coming to today is that this is not the right time for me to be writing this book, or at least not to be drafting it. Yeah, I don't feel ready.
And I think some of that is just the scale of the thing and like world building that needs to get done. And then this is just like kind of an intense time, obviously. And then also just everything is hard in this moment, and it's becoming harder to balance sort of work and writing again, which like earlier in the summer, then it was easy to like prioritize the writing, but that feels both less responsible at this point and also just like less possible. Like I'm just thinking more about my classes and my classroom, and all that's making this challenging. Eventually I just opened a Word document and started like journaling about like what wasn't working, why I felt stuck, like what are things that I need to figure out. And so then I started essentially world building and essentially doing sort of plot work and various stuff as well that I feel like is useful. I feel like moving into this project and trying to do camp and trying to do the 50K stuff, I sort of like jump-started where this project should be, if that makes sense. I'm still pretty committed to writing 50,000 words, and I'm committed to doing it all in one project because I feel like that is the spirit of Nano, and I want to have done that, and I'm almost at 30,000 words, so like I want to be committed to this thing. And I do still believe in this project. I guess I'm struggling with like what are productive ways forward creatively right now, and also like personally, like what are reasonable goals and what is like being just cruel to myself, I guess. So I do think I'm going to keep going. I don't at this moment foresee myself finishing this draft once I've reached 50,000 words. There's just like a lot happening right now in all sorts of places. And I think part of why I'm sort of holding back is like part of me really wants to query this novel. Like it feels like if I can get it to a place where it's like a genuine thing, that this is going to be authentic to me in a way that other stuff isn't. I'm so sorry that this is so vague. I feel so bad about how vague it is, but that's where we're at. It feels weird to say it's personal, but it definitely feels very personal. And so I just, like, I don't want to write it badly. And I don't want to end up in a space where, you know, like sometimes writers will get like trapped working on like the project for like decades of their life, which is a way that you can learn and is a way that stories can happen, but it's not, like, I don't think that's going to work for me. And when I'm not drafting, like when I'm playing with the world and thinking through things and making myself like actually think about like what does the economy actually look like? What if we actually thought through government structures and all of this stuff that like I need to have done? I do feel like I'm making progress. Like I thought of a thing today that would fundamentally change the structure of the book, and I think also just makes it better. And so I don't want to force this. That's really what it comes down to, is I don't want to force this. I don't know, y'all. Okay, I need to stop talking because I'm literally not even saying anything, and editing this back is going to be a nightmare. It is day 18 of Nano now. Yesterday was the first day that I didn't officially vlog, although obviously I've missed a few videos since then. Basically, I reached the point where like the amount of screen time and internet stuff was getting overwhelming, so I stopped and sort of took a step back. I have, however, been writing every day, although yesterday's word count didn't update. So according to the Nano site, I missed yesterday and all my graphs are messed up and I'm not going to get the 21-day badge, and basically it's a tragedy because I understand that the site is like trash, and for people that were using the old site, it's sad because all these lost capabilities happened. But as someone that's only ever used the new site, I really loved those graphs. It was all I used the website for, but I liked that. So slightly heartbroken about that. Otherwise, I've still just been outlining, I guess, and world building. Basically, the more I move away from writing scenes, the more I feel that this is totally the right call, because pretty much every single drafted scene that I'd written so far for this project, there was like a lot I was gonna have to throw out. And it wasn't big realization stuff, right? It was like kind of basic world building. So I do feel like I just jumped into this project a little bit too soon. And on the one hand, obviously there's a danger of like falling into sort of the world builder's disease trap and like working forever. But also this is the first time I've ever done like a serious secondary world type thing. And that's hard and that's work. And for now, this seems like the right step. And also this is like A, way easier, but B, just more fun. It's like actually genuinely joyful, and that's really great. The thing about abandoning the drafting is that I feel like I have much less to say because I'm both less stuck and less stuff has happened. I say that, but in the last 2 days, I think I figured out that my plot was completely wrong in some ways, and that I have to like add. Basically, I think I figured out who my actual antagonist is, and that I was focused in the wrong place, and that I was focused on what was actually a secondary antagonist, which is also 100% a problem with my first book, and is another reason why I think that what I'm doing right now is good. Yeah, I think it's all good. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a little thumbs up. If you're curious about my nano journey, feel free to subscribe. Please let me know in the comments how your writing adventures are going. And that, my lovely ones, is it. Be well. Happy writing.
I'm not getting any work done because I got distracted by this little one. This is the Muppet. She is a very strange cat, but she's a very good cat. Yes. Hello, Muppet. Hello. Oh, yes. She looks so angry all the time.